Hey there, we're back with the end of Other M. We're going to go until we beat it today. Having some frame drop issues, so hopefully everything goes smoothly from here. Man, Metroid music. Driven by anxiety, Samus sets out for the main sector. She encounters the mysterious woman again, Madeline Bergman. Samus herself has been the key to recreating the Metroids. The person who ordered the weaponization of Metroids was Adam. The AI that controls them is called MB, which is so goofy Japanese. It's like Mother Brain, but we call it MB. Okay? It's not Fisherman's Horizon, we call it FH. Is the other M Malkovich? Because that would be really stupid. There's a way to get up there, do I? Is that one way all along? No, we stopped on a long cutscene with, it was explaining how Ridley was actually the little furry Furby gremlin thing. And the really dumb boss fight from last episode where it was just attacking the tail constantly was also Ridley. It's like a Ridley clone. I don't think there's a way for me to get up here, right? I don't have the space jump. Oh, wait. It's just the way it works is very janky. Maybe I have to, like, run up there. No, it's basically just a double jump. There's a thing directly above me, or is it a grappling beam? There we go. Thank you, giant green light. Oh right, Metroid. Can't gain height with it. I see. Oh no. You can do decent damage to them with the screw attack, but don't jump on them, because then you'll do a cool Devil May Cry finisher. Screw attack can't one-shot all the lesser enemies. That's not in the style of the Spectacle Brawler. Just be able to kill stuff? Late game? Actually don't know if there's going to be anything up here, but I figured I'd check. Face jump is just double jump in Prime. Looks like this is right. You think there'd be a secret or something up there now that I've come back to that room with tons of upgrades. So I guess you can always dodge during those cutscenes. I've gotten hit by almost every one of them. Might be a reward for Shine Spark in here. This is that enemy that's only vulnerable in a very brief window and it uses a very specific attack. That one. So I can screw attack a thing. Hey, that works. Oh my god, a suit upgrade? I fought a million of those things. Secret missile. Multiple missiles simultaneously. Charge up a super missile. Okay. Well, at least that solves the problem of, like, there are multiple enemies to target, and I can't change the lock-on once the game decides what to lock on to. I know, right, Robert? What even is this? I thought that was the command one. Oh, right, Metroid. Oh, no problem, Spiky. I'll take care of it tomorrow morning. Celeste all levels sounds great. I assume that's a very long Holland to beat, though, right? Because the additional levels are, like, crazy hard. They're allowed to give us an upgrade because now we're explicitly ignoring Adam. They did it in a way that wasn't cool, though. And a weird, snarky line from Samus. She still hasn't chosen to start using the power bomb, though.
This elevator is bound for Sector 2.
So is that 36 minus the main game, since we already beat the main game? That's not so bad. Okay, cool. I'll do that calculation. Sure. But now I have free access to the whole world map. Don't need to watch any cutscenes anymore. I think they've added new levels to it too since I played it. Interesting. Oh right, this is where you get this. Let's say this is where you unlock the speed boost. This is where Adam tells you it's okay to use the speed boost. In the first room where it could possibly be relevant. Yeah. Secret. These ones die in one hit at least. Appreciate that. Thanks, game. Basically, you can hover indefinitely, but you can never gain height. Okay. Oh, thank God those things die instantly. Huh, I wonder why that one random regular enemy still took 1,000,000 shots to kill. That's so strange. I know there's a secret here. No, 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 not the boss. Not the one that dropped the thing. There is the little pillar area with the plant, and there were a couple of armored enemies that, there were like 2 of them. The screw attack didn't insta-kill them. They also weren't worth fighting. They don't drop anything, right? Get the item at the back of the room. And that has those 2 tunnels that don't lead to anything. Seeker missiles. Oh, that's kind of cool. Playing V6 now. At least Samus didn't comment on that, right? The gravity had changed. I wasn't prepared to deal with that. The whole world was turned upside down. Just like my dad's unspoken verbal abuse. It's not what he said, it's what was left unsaid. Hey, thanks, Kara. Now we've got high gravity. That's actually pretty cool. Props to Other M. It's a cool little sci-fi set piece that I don't think we've seen in another Metroid game. Enhanced by the fact that it's just happening, right? It's the difference between, oh, I get it, and oh my god, I get it, right? The other M stands for Marstead. I hope not. It's like we don't want to actually do an underwater level. It's kind of cool. It's never worked. Hooray. I see. All right, transition from first person into wall jumping. All grappling beams in this game are binary. There's exactly 2 places you can launch. As cool as this is, and this is pretty cool, I think that this is a problem you run into in games like the original God of War games and Bayonetta, where it's like the game is creating a problem in order to give you an unlock to solve it. And I guess every Metroidvania is doing that. I can't pretend like they're not, but you know, going past the underwater area a couple times and not being able to fully progress past it, and then being like, oh, now I can go back to that water area from earlier now that I can jump more easily. Versus you're on this linear path and you get to the area that has the gravity effect, and it's just like Adam's not going to do it at this point because we're far enough in the game that that's not happening anymore, thank God. But the equivalent of that, where I'm in the lava area, oh, Adam just let me turn on my area suit. Okay. So much for anything that could have been interesting about that. So I don't think I can clear that gap. This might be another oh right Metroid moment. It's like, now you're gonna have to think for another room. I can't clear the gap here just by jumping. That doesn't do it. There's nothing I appear to be able to grab onto. There is a grapple spot on the other side, but I can't reach it from down here. I can't grapple from midair. I could try grabbing onto the ledge, maybe? Nope, not with the high gravity effect. Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool. I think it definitely fits the setting to have this big high gravity area. I guess it would be neat if you ran into it sooner and couldn't do much here. Alright, I will accept some ideas from folks if anyone has a guess. I don't think it's going to involve backtracking, because you basically never backtrack in this game. It does say there's an item in here, but I assume that's talking about like a missile tank or something. Okay, I think I was able actually to grab the ledge that time, because I think I might have to grab the ledge and then turn around and then grapple beam from the ledge, which I think is possible. That didn't work. I think this one I'm not going to be able to get. I'm gonna have to come back here to get that, basically. Leave and have an expedition. I guess this grapple beam has multiple grapple attachment points, technically. I don't know why that would matter. Did this thing respawn? I'm gonna Google it here in a second. Definitely a grapple thing there. Definitely cannot clear it just by running and space jumping across. She falls straight down. Can't easily hold on to the ledge here because of the whole prevent you from walking off the ledge mechanic, which is I still find to be bizarre. What is it, Kami? Was it the kind of thing where you were able to find a result because people were commonly stuck on it, or? I do. What? Really? That's so dumb. Okay. Thank you. Would not have thought that. There's not a room that forces you to understand that that's how the space jump actually works, that you can be spamming inputs. Outside of gravity, there's no reason to press it more frequently than every time you reach the end of an arc, right? Thank you for the help. Give up and get the gravity suit somewhere else. That would involve backtracking, though. This game has taught me that you never go to a space and go, oh, I can't do this yet. Let me come back later. At least not on the main path. That's happened multiple times in this game. It's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do? It's frustrating, like, you know, I obviously am capable of committing errors and often commit errors. So sometimes you have to like be like, did I not know what to do there because it was conveyed poorly or because I suck? Space jump is some timing. Right, so I'm not in high gravity now. Jump, 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 right? No reason to spam it. In fact, I think spamming it does nothing. Yeah, spamming it is exactly the same as just timing the presses. I wonder what boss we're going to fight in this room. Oh yeah, that's totally happened, Tommy. And it's MB. My least favorite form of progression in games. It triggers once you give up and leave. That's a boss, I guess. He's got a gravity effect on him, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's why the grapples are there, sure. Okay, I can't turn into a ball to get under that, apparently. Dropping down is not a valid way to dodge that attack. Ah, that's the little gravity thing. That's kind of cool. Get my missiles back until I'm actually out of missiles. The high gravity segments, I'm honestly not sure how you're supposed to dodge a lot of this stuff. Get back up there. Or the gravity thing triggers again, because it's super annoying when it does. I'm gonna die before this fight's over, so I'm not gonna be able to heal successfully. Oh, you have like no health left, dude. First try. Oh, never mind. Okay. Use a TV baby alien face thing? What? Yeah, no, wait, no, we want one more attack cycle. You gotta do that thing you saw 2 more times. You have not missed anything exciting. Questionable boss fight. I do think some of the actual creature design in this game is interesting. Like a lot of the alien animals are neat looking. They would benefit from some of Metroid Prime's attempts to like explain why the creatures exist in the setting, right? Oh yeah, this thing it explodes and shoots spines everywhere as a defense mechanism. Thank you, Metroid Prime, for trying. I'm gonna look like Krang, huh? Oh, I lost control there as she turned that corner. I'm not in control right now. I know, right, Samus? Is this game meant to be implying that the space pirates are from Zebes originally, which I thought was like a Chozo colony? I don't mind them retconning some stuff, provided that it's in the service of something good. Which it's not. I don't think anyone can really argue that Metroid canon is particularly important or treated with any sort of reverence in the main series. Just trying to ape Super. And apparently write out the 3 Prime games? I think the Prime games added a lot of cool stuff. It's strained credulity a little bit that she went on these insane adventures in between the other games. Demi-elemental plane of range stressing. This hallway is set up specifically to stop you from speed boosting. So it's a long hallway. What? Why though? I feel like if you made the hallway twice as long to account for the speed boost, you could get the same dread building effect. Yeah, I love long hallways. Okay, I'm not in control again. Yeah, it was a good opportunity to flesh out the space pirates, right? Be like, oh, whatever. Let's say the previous games were overly simple because they were simple on purpose. Some directors turn the camera at an angle. Sometimes that happens. Like, okay, these scenes, this is like the third time they've done this. And again, if you want to see an example of where it works, Final Fantasy VII Remake. It does the walking simulator thing where you're like, oh man, I'm feeling the tension build, but here it's just like, what? And why? Like you could see the devs being like, oh, this cool thing's coming up. But it's like, you have to tell me why I'm supposed to be nervous about this.
A baby.
Oh, God. Yep, that's the thing that happened in Metroid 2. It's the deleted baby. That's a different baby that's also imprinting on her. Again, this is another scene that would have been improved by just not having her say anything. We would get it. There's already the flashback, right? In case you didn't get it. I'm actually really curious now if anything of value would be lost if you just cut all the dialogue from the game. Not all babies are good, or something? Ugh.
Samus, can you hear my voice?
You should watch this whole playthrough, Nodovan. It's a
loud and clear.
Nightmare.
Adam.
You know what lies up ahead. The Metroids and the artificial intelligence that controls them. The fruit of the Galactic Federation's twisted project.
Yes. So why did you shoot me?
You can't destroy these Metroids.
What do you mean?
What?
Sector Zero Metroids most likely can't be frozen.
What are you talking about?
There's a strong likelihood that the Metroid's mortal weakness, the vulnerability to cold, has been overcome through genetic manipulation. And if that's true, there's no way you can destroy them.
But that baby earlier, the infant Metroid, you were able to freeze it.
You were able to freeze
True.
it?
My guess is that it was because it was still in a larval stage. But who can say? One thing's for certain. They're definitely propagating Metroids.
You think?
Developing bioweapons with an obvious and fatal flaw would be suicide.
Was this
It's
a
hard
thing that we
imagine
had
the
to
military
fix?
mass-producing defective weapons.
It doesn't make
And
sense
again,
that the Metroids
none
have
of
a
this makes
weakness.
sense.
Something
Metroids
that's
are
super
lethal.
interesting about them.
Their extinction was a wise decision. And now, since
What is
no one
he-
has the technology to defeat them, they cannot be allowed to exist.
How do you plan to go about
Hang on, Adam.
de-existing them, deleting them?
First, I need to know why you're credited as the creator of the Metroid
Oh,
military program
no.
report.
I need to know why you're credited. Let me talk to the audience. Stop it.
I
Stop.
received the request to write the report from Galactic Federation headquarters.
This is so bad.
In that report, I outlined the potential dangers of such a program and explained categorically why it shouldn't be attempted.
He should have just said,
HQ,
because
listen.
that's what the script said.
A small group
I don't
within
know.
the Federation co-opted my report for its own purposes.
She reaches under her butt and pulls out the script. Wait a minute.
Samus, you'll be fully recovered soon.
The game shut up for the last episode.
I have several missions for you. This
What?
facility appears to be on an intercept course with Galactic Federation HQ. If what Madeline Bergman said is correct,
Rhyme 3
there's a
is
distinct
great.
possibility that this is the start of an attack by MB against the Federation.
It's like it's
One way or another, some sort of attack is clearly imminent.
it's dipping its toe in a pond that I kind of don't want it to dip its
You have
toe
to find a
into,
way
but it's
to divert
fine.
the ship off its intercept course. I've located a survivor in
This
room
one
MW.
is taking
rear
Metroid
of
and
the
like
bioweapon
holding its
research
head
center.
under the pond.
Whoever it is will be a key witness. Secure the survivor's safety. And defeat Ridley. He's as much of a threat as the Metroids.
Could she not
One
be
last word of
panting through
warning.
the entire scene?
Madeline Bergman.
There's like 10 problems with this scene,
No
but that's
ally.
one of them. He's got cool boots.
Hold on, Adam. What are you planning to do with the Metroids here in Sector 0?
Leave it to me. I'll deal with this place.
Does
Do you
Adam
have a
like...
plan for dealing with
Is there any
Metroids
chance
that
that
can't be
Adam was
frozen?
modeled to look like Sakamoto?
Sector 0 has a self-destruct protocol. If the sector
that
receives a
what's happening
significant amount
here?
of damage, the unit is programmed to detach
Adam Christian
and
Grey.
self-destruct. A powerful explosion will eliminate the Metroids and MB without leaving a trace.
No, I'm just joking.
Don't you dare, Adam. Let me go in. I'm the only one who has a shot against the Metroids. We have to take the chance. Please, Adam. You have to trust me.
Why? No, stop that.
You have to trust me. Just give me a chance.
Samus, I wish I could battle Ridley, but I can't. Unlike you, I'm no galactic savior. I'm merely human. But I can save you. You should be completely healed soon. There isn't much time.
He shot her with
both
a
need to get started on our
temporary
missions.
power suit disabling, panting inducing gun
Sorry for getting a little rough with you.
that can also freeze baby Metroids.
Good luck, Samus.
Wait!
Where did he get this anti-Chozo gun? Fuck.
Wait! Adam!
Like, the mechanics of the scene itself, in addition to all of the problematic elements of the story, the actual mechanics of what's happening are also dumb, right? It's like, do one thing right, instead of, like, nothing
No
right.
objections. Right, lady?
Samus' suit has to be maintained via concentration? That shot is embarrassing. I think that's the main feeling I get in this game. It's like, you know how sometimes it's hard to watch, like, The Office? You can't watch Scott's Tots because you get this, like, stomach ache from being embarrassed for the characters. A dumb story told badly, and just about every element of it is wrong. It's like if someone set out to intentionally
Adam
make
vanished.
it as bad
My
as
best
possible,
friend.
as a joke, right?
The person who understood
Stop
me
it.
best.
Stop it.
The closest thing to a father I had. Thoughts swirled through my head. I couldn't come to grips with what had happened.
Me
Such a
neither,
cruel way to
Samus.
say goodbye. I was the only one who witnessed Adam's last moment, and though it shook me, I was calmer than I usually am.
It wasn't cool or
I think
badass.
Adam granted me that Eye of the Storm clarity, his final gift to me. There was no time for me to grieve his death, but there was time for me to say, Adam, thank you. Leave the rest to me.
Nonsensical. It didn't work. If it's supposed to be inspiring some kind of feeling in the player, it... There was no reason for that. And, like, nothing of consequence happened from a gameplay perspective. I went into a room, and now I'm leaving that room. I guess it's like, oh, the place is falling apart now because of the thing Adam did? Good thing I can't speed boost. Oh, now I'm gonna turn on the gravity suit. I'm not depending on... It's almost dumber. It's almost dumber now that she's just choosing to do it when this would have been super fucking useful against that boss fight. This hallway is so lame too. It's like the lamest long hallway I've ever seen in a video game. And it's like in my top 5 favorite video game tropes. I have a fucking song for it. I thought there was no way to do it wrong, right? Like it always builds tension. I really wish the camera wouldn't rotate whenever you save the game. Yeah, make a kazoo long hallway. I'll have to record it now. I don't think it'll ever get used. I barely proc long hallway anymore because usually the hallways are shorter than the song. And out of tune flute. Try to do my best, like, voice-breaking nerd sound. Bye. Yeah, Adam doesn't get an escape timer because the plot demands it. It's... What the fuck? that whole cutscene with Adam, like, there's a great Red Letter Media comment. He says something to the effect of, like, you may not have realized what was wrong about this movie or this scene, but your brain did. Like, you intuited that something was wrong, but you might not be able to put it into English, right? And I feel like I'd have to sit down and watch that again. I'm sure someone's done the post-mortem of everything wrong with Mother M, or Other M. Hey, Soda Dan, how you doing? This is a game you need to see from the beginning to believe, Dan. Highly recommend the YouTube VOD, at least for the first episode, the first 20 minutes or so. Bring you up to speed on how horrific it is. This is the Wii. It's the game that almost destroyed the Metroid franchise. Single-handedly. This game is the Star Wars prequels. This game is Rise of Skywalker, Resident Evil 6, Sonic 06. But like everything we play that's baffling on this channel, it's bad in its own very specific, shocking ways. It does not map directly onto those other shit shows. Hate this game more than you thought you could hate a video game. I know, right? It's weirdly playable. I think it's actually the most playable out of any of those games. Sonic 06 is pretty broken to the point of being unplayable. 6 is janky, but it's also playable. But like the actual basic level construction in this isn't the worst thing in the world. It's just not a Metroid game. Game O'Brien. I do like that black hole attack. That's kind of cool. Well, it affects everything. Okay. Yeah, this game happened on purpose. I think that's what makes it the most offensive. I think you're right. It's because this is exactly the product that they set out to make, right? And that they still stand by it. I was kind of dumb when it came out, but it's way worse than you remember. So what kind of game is Federation Force? I know nothing about it. I remember hearing, oh, that sounds like a spin-off that I have no interest in trying. There's supposed to be a way for me to... because I can shoot him in his little tail to stop him from being able to make black holes, right? I just have to shoot it a bunch of times first. Oh, I just have to only shoot him when it's down because he recasts it quickly. Okay. You basically have no time to hurt him because he recasts it so frequently. I've heard good things about Fall Guys, yeah. Seriously, how long does this thing last? Wipe out with friends. Why did it hold so long on his face there? Yeah, Samus Returns was pretty good. It still had QTEs and stuff, but it still, you know, felt like a Metroid game. Granted, it was adapting an existing title, but... I'm trying to think if there's anything else out there that's comparable. I think the Star Wars prequels are pretty close. Where it's like George Lucas doesn't really know what made his own material good back in the day. And actually does things in the prequels that make the original trilogy worse. Game of Thrones Season 8's pretty bad. There's reasons for 8, though, where, like, the creators are not wanting to take the time to finish the story. Like, HBO has given them effectively unlimited money and told you can take as many seasons as you want to finish this because it's a giant cash cow for us, and they say, no, we want to make our Star Wars trilogy. And then it's so bad that they're not allowed to make their Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, I've heard good things about Core. I've heard it's different. Increases your concentration restoration volume. So you get 2 energy tanks back instead of 1 when you die. He's the key to all of this. For deciding to turn on the gravity suit. Like, it was bad when it was father figure. It was daddy saying, okay, you can use your Varia suit now and stop being melted by lava. But now that he's gone, it's almost worse that she had the ability to turn it on in any second and waited. Right? Oh man, comparing Other M to Dark Souls 3, it's... This is taking something that was good and making it not good. Something that was uncharacteristically good for its time, too. Like, Metroid got storytelling, wordless, show-don't-tell storytelling right in, like, the 80s and 90s, when most video games were really struggling. Is it, like, up here? Or, I don't... oh, I see, it's down here. It's really hard to care. Yeah, so, again, Dan, I really recommend watching the VOD for this, if you just want to see what a train wreck it is, but one of the core conceits of this game is they decided that... So, okay, Samus has upgrades. It's Metroidvania. In each game, she has to unlock the charge shot and the high jump and super missiles and whatever. In this game, she has a father figure named Adam who has to give her permission to use her abilities. So one of the most egregious sections of the game has her running through an area where she's constantly taking heat damage because it's like a volcano. And after you've been there for like 20 minutes, Adam is like, okay, you can turn on your Various suit now and stop taking lava damage. It's incredibly stupid. That area we just backtracked through, we went through the first time and it had this like high gravity effect. And she's just dealing with the high gravity effect, basically. Also, this would work better if this was Samus's first adventure or something, but this is after she's got like 6 or 7 adventures under her belt, so there's like no reason why she suddenly needs to do things with this guy's permission, right? Like, there's this awful pop-up that comes up that's like, Samus decided not to use her missiles because it made Adam mad. Yeah, and that's been my whole argument while playing this, that in order for me to accept that this game exists, I have to believe that at some point during development, it was intended to be a prequel, and this was supposed to be Samus's first journey and how she becomes hardened and learns to rely on herself and da-da-da-da. And if they had done it that way, that would actually be fine. I think that there's a way to do it that's not very, 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 very... But that's not what they did. 50 Shades of Grey boyfriend type. Father figure / best friend / boyfriend. No. Lots of people are to blame for this. It's not just Sakamoto. I think that's part of what makes these baffling AAA games so interesting compared to your typical, average to boring game. Like, whenever you have a project management situation where like dozens or even hundreds of people had to sign off on this, and all of them were okay with it, or at least, not willing to risk their jobs to speak up and say, hey, this is kind of terrible, right? I can't believe it doesn't have a nunchuck. It's such a stupid decision. It feels so clunky as a result. Like having to constantly turn to aim and then switch it back. Ugh. And the save turned me around to face the door I came in from again. Yeah, I've said that in previous episodes. It's like, it's one or the other, guys. Like, you either have a nunchuck and you do the perspective changing mechanic, or you don't have a nunchuck and you don't do that. You can't have both. God, it's an actual secret. Sort of. We're getting closer to the end of this game, and I don't think we've yet gotten to a single secret area, right? Where it's like more than a single room or a single offshoot from the main path. You never have to dive more than 2 rooms deep to get to something optional. And that's very characteristic of, your OG God of Wars, your Bayonettas, your Devil May Cries. But yeah, there's plenty of games where it would be completely appropriate, and I would applaud them for trying to keep it simple. Instead, if there was no first-person nonsense in this, it would be completely fine. It's worse than using a D-pad for 3D movement, though. It's that you also have to smoothly transition from holding it like this to pointing it at the screen. Then you have to quickly, like, calibrate to the fact that you just completely changed the way you're holding the controller. Aim, and then if you have to dodge, you have to let go, return to this position, and then press a button. It's not great. Especially since all of the first-person combat is lock-on anyway. Like, you never actually have to aim in first person. Once you go into first person, you're locked on to fire the missile, so why does it even exist? And maybe that's why they added the weird pixel hunt sequences, because that's the only time you actually have to move the Wiimote around in first person view. Him overseeing the voice acting is bizarre. It seems like it accounts for a lot of the cutscene jank in this. I think these are the enemies that bizarrely don't get one-shot by screw attack when just about everything else does. This is our third time through this room? Fourth time? Yeah, her delivery, so she's panting constantly for no reason. Everything is super stilted, again, for no reason. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna watch a full video essay just on that last cutscene. Everything was wrong. Got my piece of parts. Cool Devil May Cry finisher attacks. It's a spectacle brawler without any spectacle. They made a Metroid game that's not a Metroidvania. The one that everyone freaked out was being made by a Texas company to be an FPS ended up being a Metroidvania. Yeah, I like the idea of transition between 3D and, or I'm sorry, third person and first person, but it's so wasted in this game. Like, there are no cool puzzles that utilize it. There's some areas where you can be like, oh, I could see how that could be used for a cool puzzle. Oh, wait, nope, they didn't. Probably took them like a stupid amount of work, too. I think wasted potential is one of the things that really gets to me in games. It's part of what's so frustrating to me about Persona. So you don't have very many games that are 90 hours long where you have to spend 90 hours with all these different characters. Like, use it for something. Don't just do anime tropes again. I remember being pretty worried about Prime. I think a lot of people were reasonable to be worried about it before launch. I said, Texas Studio is making a new Metroid game and it's a first-person shooter. Oh my god. But then they nailed it. They nailed it super hard in Prime 1 and had decent follow-ups in 2 and 3. Which are now like masterpieces compared to this game. Found the pixel. Oh no, it's Steve? Jim?
James.
James! That was his. It was Jim. Hey. Not James. He had a spinning profile head. Pile gas. The rage cage. People at Retro worked on Halo 4. Huh. I haven't played any of the Halo games. Is Halo 4 well received? Maurice got thrown into the lava by Ridley. Or at least he had one of those, oh, he fell. We didn't see a body. I haven't done any Halo before. That'll be blind when it's on stream. Oh, Anthony. Right.
Ridley.
Didn't have to say it. We know who it is. Metroid Other Edit. Just...
What could have happened?
We can speculate on that without you saying it. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't this actually be a cool set piece if you just walked in the room? There was no cutaway cutscene showing something happening to him. But if you just walked in a room and there was a dead Ridley shell just there and you just walk past it, like how every other Metroid game has handled spooky shit like that, that would be pretty scary. No, I don't think so, Dodo. I get into that a little bit in my first 2 episodes of this game. That I don't think that the building blocks are necessarily all bad. Like you can start characterizing Samus. You can even start giving Samus flaws and a backstory. It doesn't have to be a perfect silent character. It's just that the way they did everything is the worst. Oh, we got the little ring things from the end of the original Metroid. That's kind of cool. I like how there's not actually a way for you to lock onto multiple things. You lock onto one thing, and then it context sensitive locks onto everything else. Metroid donuts. SpaghettiOs. Yeah, I remember the other characters in Echoes and Corruption, Prime 2 and 3, I was like, man, don't do this. But it was fine. They kept it limited. You know, it could have been worse. Let me be fair to Other M. There could have been a cutscene in the room with the SpaghettiOs where she was like, SpaghettiOs. This reminds me. And then flashback. Whenever I see SpaghettiOs, it always makes me think of Mother Brain. My years of unspoken verbal abuse. Calling them SpaghettiOs. Is it they doing a thing with the first person view here where I'm supposed to look in one of these windows and it's gonna trigger a crazy cutscene? That's kind of a cool idea. If that's what they're doing. No, it's just the NPC character from earlier. Exposition dump. Oh, wait, no, different exposition dump character.
No, you got it wrong.
Stay away! Stay away!
You have to calm down.
What a weird, unusual sequence. That was unlike any of the other Pixel Hunt sequences. It was definitely another one of those, like, oh right, Metroid. I can see players being stuck in this room, like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? But at least they have the courtesy to lock you in the room, right? That's another thing that this game fails to do. It lets you backtrack in rooms where they want you to do something unusual.
Metroid eggs. It can't be.
God. Shut up. Oh, raid? No, it's an Omega Metroid or something. Never mind. Oh, these ones I can still freeze? Wait, so Adam only destroyed genetically modified ones or something. Is it just that they're immune to missiles now? Okay. If you see me turn into a morph ball when it makes no sense, it's because I was trying to go into first-person view and it's the same button. Use the ones that are immune to freezing or something, right? No? Oh, that would have been a great time to be able to secret missile those things, but secret missile is not actually an ability, it's only a context-sensitive key for opening certain locked doors. Yeah, this is not fun to fight right now. Everything is auto-targeting. They seem to auto-dodge me? Or something? They don't stay frozen for long enough for me to charge up a super missile. I can't use seeker missiles. There's too many of them for me to aim at them. Seriously, I don't know what they want from me here. I think you have to counterattack. Okay, I think you have to dodge in order to be able to freeze them. Otherwise, they just are immune to it or something. This is the worst boss fight in Metroid history. I don't even know if I'm supposed to fight them. It's like Devil May Cry 2, where it's like, are they just respawning? Is the mechanic that I meant to kill them? It's like you gotta get all three of them to be in the same area so that you can AoE freeze them when you dodge. Otherwise, you're not going to have time to aim your shot. Hey! I think that one actually did do a secret missile. Yeah. It's the worst enemy for a scripted combat. Because all the combat in this game is just these little scripted events. Get my missiles back, because my missile tanks don't matter, because it takes 3 seconds to get your missiles back. Not even. Okay, so I was supposed to kill the babies. That was not a scripted dodge, by the way. I had to press a button. This game seems inconsistent in when it's willing to give you a health pop-up, right? Give you a health bar for the enemy. Now I've got one. Oh, but only in the first-person view. That attack just does a full energy tank of damage every time. I love the change to the music every time you get a shot off. Yeah, you got it. I'd let people discuss stuff that would be a spoiler or a hint, or things you don't want me to know about yet. I've said this before, but all the boss fights in this game feel like you're just pressing a do button. But it's not even a cool do button like the ones you get in Kingdom Hearts or Bayonetta. It's always just shoot a missile, right? You're not like pressing this crazy cutscene where you do a bunch of backflips and like rip the thing's head off. Jellyfish turn into Komodo dragons. Phase 2?
This facility will intersect Galactic Federation orbit in approximately 30 seconds. This facility
I love how... Okay, hold on. Did you see that in that cutscene, the boss had a full health bar because they were using the in-game engine to show her aiming at it? Oh my god. Stop! Yeah, Flash games are viable. Absolutely. If it's beatable and it's not banned on Twitch.
Brace for impact. Warning. Emergency brace.
What was even the point of this? Look how the boss still has a health bar in the corner. Oh, because it has a health bar. And this is scripted to be in first-person view for some reason? Why? Oh, this is like the adolescent Ridley fight from earlier, where it's just all in first person. Are you serious? I was mashing bombs. Please set me back to the beginning of that cutscene and not to the start of the boss fight. I swear to God. Okay. Thank you. This is actually something that's kind of Bayonetta-y. Instead of just press button to fire missile, right? Do I have to roll around or something? What does it want from me? I have to use the power bombs, which I am not allowed to use. Because Adam never gave me permission, even though there were some doors that were explicitly opened by it. Is there something special I'm supposed to do in there other than just spam bombs? Does anyone know? It drains your health so fast. The boss is actually regenerating health when you get in there. You can't, like, charge bombs. You can't see what's going on in there. I do, yeah. Is it just that it's been unlocked all along? I was trying to press and hold before, though, and nothing was happening. See, that could have been cool if that was the theme for the whole game. You unlock it as you enter its mouth. That's a semblance of a cool idea, right, exactly. Of the, oh, you can just do it on your own. But they needed... You have to turn it on? That's not stupid. But they needed to set that up, right? Like, when she first decides to turn on the gravity suit, or when she decides to turn on the screw attack, like, they needed to make you go in the menu and turn it on, and not just pull up the menu and say, it's active now, right? They need to give you a reason to expect that that was a thing that you could do. And they could have even done it in the previous times it happened by having her prompt you to do it, and then have her not prompt you the last time. But there's no reason, there's absolutely no reason to ever go into this menu, right? Like, why would you back out of the map screen and go to status and then look at your upgrades when they all just... No, I was expecting to have to powerbomb it, but it was a cutscene. It was a Bayonetta style cutscene. It wasn't... Again, the idea was cool. The execution was incredibly dumb. Kind of a microcosm of Metroid Other M in general.
Don't come any closer.
And having you die repeatedly in the cutscene made it feel even worse, right? Like, it would have been better if you got in there and you didn't die. If there wasn't stomach acid draining your health.
Stay away from me.
If you were just rolling around like, oh, what am I supposed to do? And you had to, like, press different buttons.
Easy. I won't come any closer until you say so.
Yeah, if you were customizable like Super or the original
My name is
Metroid.
Samus. I'm an independent bounty hunter. I know the situation here and I know how you must feel. I'm here to secure your safety.
maybe you're supposed to have more time to figure it out if you have more health at the start of the cutscene. But whenever you die, which is likely because the boss hits you with that fire attack that depletes an entire energy tank, you're likely to have only one or even two. So I could have had fewer if I hadn't have gotten that reserve
What's your
tank.
role at this facility?
I'm responsible for all operations. My name is Madeline Bergman.
Wait a minute. I met another woman who called herself Madeline Bergman. What's going on here?
What you met was MB. She's an android. She was created with the intellectual data of Mother Brain.
Yeah, them realizing it was a problem enough to have a checkpoint, but then not actually fixing it.
The Federation's foolish plan. Mother Brain's rampage.
Even the whole calling back to...
Everything that happened here was just as Madeline, or rather MB, had told me.
The idea of calling back to Metroid 2 is fine. I'm fine with it. The thing I don't like is them not setting up how you're supposed to go in the menu to check what the command is, right? They could have set that up.
It had to be Madeline Bergman.
I know, right, Leon? It's embarrassing.
Artificial intelligence originally developed to regenerate and control space pirate special forces. Because we wanted it to control these special forces through telepathy, we were forced to model its infrastructure after Mother Brain.
What?
At that time, MB didn't have a human form. Before long, we started to see the viability of creating Metroid clones. Once we did, MB started to take on her current shape.
Of course. Of fucking course.
But why?
Because we needed the first Metroid hatchling to recognize MB as its mother, she had to take on the form of
They're adding so much unnecessarily.
With that as our theoretical basis,
The
we were
fake
able to
Madeline
create an
Bergman
ideal
also did this
relationship
shit.
with the Metroid, one that wasn't based on dominance or control.
I remembered the baby hatching before my eyes. When it attacked Mother Brain in order to save me, that was the result of the kind of ideal relationship they were trying to develop with
so
me.
dumb. That's so
They
stupid.
found the perfect means of control and started propagating Metroids.
It's so
in Sector
nakedly
Zero.
trying to, like, take something that was good
At the
and
same
subtle
time,
and simple and make it
They were
complicated for
conducting
no
genetic
reason.
manipulation experiments to
Actually, this is
create
what was really
unfeasible
going on.
Metroids. Apparently, the queen I met earlier was the first of these propagated Metroids to mature. They wanted to preserve her as a control specimen.
That's why the freeze
so they
worked on
left
her.
genes unaltered.
Just leave that mechanic out of the story. You don't ever fight an invincible
The fact that she'd grow into a
Metroid.
queen was something not even Madeline and her team could have predicted. Only special infants had the genetic coding to become queens.
What?
Once our MB was in a human form,
If that's the
she
case,
excelled.
just fucking
As
cut.
an interface between us and them, her skills with personal interaction humanized her to a great extent.
If my theory is correct, this is going to be
That is so
Her confidence was
overwhelmingly
unwavering,
dumb.
and her ability to learn was greater than we'd expected. But then she developed
Hold on.
emotions.
Can I pause
Then
this?
a nascent
Oh, of
sense
course, I can't
herself.
pause during cutscenes. Hold on.
She began asserting her own thoughts, and her opinions began to contradict ours. It's quite typical for artificial intelligence to evolve as a result of self-analysis. However, there's no precedent for an AI like MB developing emotions. It's possible that her interactions with the Metroids brought it about, but we don't know for sure.
Get it? Because her name was Madeline Bergman,
The newly hatched
MB.
infant took to her like his mother. And perhaps at that moment,
I feel like
MB
Hideo
began to
Kojima
develop
would be
a soul.
embarrassed by this. Unplug the Wii.
It was all conjecture, but the idea wouldn't leave my mind.
It was all conjecture.
And that was when we decided to alter her AI
As
program.
she reaches back under her butt, pulls out the script. It was all what the script said.
A human-like existence.
It's like my least favorite
But
thing in
one without
sci-fi, when a
feelings.
character correctly speculates
MB
on
less
what the
than
author
human,
knows is
The
happening.
researchers had to deny her that
I love Mass Effect,
consciousness.
obviously, but
I
it
knew
happens in
this.
Mass Effect 2, and EDI's like,
But
I
in
think this
my
is what's
heart,
going on at the end of the
I
game, and
felt
it's like, what the
sympathy for
fuck?
MB.
How did you come to that conclusion? Oh, right, you have the script, that's why.
On the day we were going to alter MB's program,
Yeah, it should still be on there.
right before my eyes, I watched her being restrained.
Stop! What are you doing to her? These orders are from above. Take her away. Wait!
Why did they put her in a lab coat?
She reached out to me and asked me for help, but there was nothing I could do.
Kojima does some really dumb stuff, but this is like on a different
My
plane of
presence that day caused a
existence.
disturbing reaction in her. She was fixated on me.
Madeline had taken to calling MB Melissa.
Oh
She took
no!
the initials MB
No!
and told the AI they stood for Melissa
Melissa,
Bergman.
it looks great on you.
MB liked that name. It made it sound like Madeline was calling her her daughter.
Jesus. Stop it. That's enough. She's a
Once she felt
Metroid-shaped
abandoned
hair
and hunted by
clip.
that same Madeline, MB telepathically commanded the special forces to revolt.
Stop talking!
Facility
Just
fell into
stop!
complete chaos.
You're digging the
Suffered
hole
widespread
deeper and
damage.
deeper.
MB was trying to get revenge on the Federation Army. And on us.
The MB
It's possible
thing.
all humans
My
have
eye
become the
twitches every
target
time
of
they
her
say
hatred.
it.
With the space pirates
It's that
under
kind
her
of
control,
dumb anime
she was
crap.
able to propagate the Metroids in Sector 0. Even
It's still
creating the
going.
Queen Metroid.
It's just
She
stop.
was well armed and planning her attack on the Galactic Federation. But Adam and I crushed her plan completely.
Did you?
And now, who could guess where she was and what she planned next?
She's backed into a corner.
Do you get it? Do you get
And
it?
her hatred is entirely focused on you and me right now.
I keep trying to pause it and it's not letting me.
MB!
Jesus. I love that their only way of having first-person view is to...
Wait. MB, calm down. Please listen.
Madeline, step back!
I mean, we were wrong. It's all over.
Madeline!
I was not wrong.
It's like this is all... Like, Samus is a
The
guest
humans were
character in this
foolish, and I was
other...
forced to bring judgment on them. And yet, because of you, I failed. You
This
must
is like Resident
understand the weight
Evil.
of your crime.
It's like all of the camp and stupidity of Resident Evil and all of the camp and stupidity
Please,
of Metal
Emily.
Gear, but played
We
completely
have to
straight.
get past this.
Right?
No.
Resident Evil at least knows it's
You will all be
campy.
judged.
It's okay now. I won't ever fail you again. I promise. I'm so sorry. Melissa. Oh, Melissa, it looks great on you.
Stop doing twists! You've had 3 in this cutscene! You know what? We need to have Metroids as like a alien monster squid thing isn't cool enough. It's gotta be an anime girl that looks like Samus. Are you fucking kidding me? What? I'm not even gonna get to fight her or learn that. Just stop. It's time to stop. That's not cool. I'm not intimidated. Works for her. What?
What's that sound?
Why? This is one of those things where even if this was fucking awesome and incredibly stupid, it would still be so inappropriate for the genre, right? Is this real? What? Now there's just random shit is happening. And it's in like 90s Matrix slow-mo. This might even be excessive for spectacle brawlers. Bayonetta wouldn't dare rob you of control for this long, right? It would have this happen, but you would be doing something during it at least. She hasn't shot, she's just standing there with her arm out.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Hey, this is another thing where you spam shoot missile. Press the do button a bunch of times in first person only. Oh my god, and like the tension is gone, there's no BGM, there's no music in this scene. You're just sitting here spamming missiles. Like it was ratcheting up the tension throughout that stupid cutscene, and now it's just like, now do this. What? It's like, oh shit, we have to let the player do something. What's the dumbest, fastest thing we could do? We spent all our money on that really dumb cutscene. I'm gonna die here. I just don't have enough help for this cutscene. Okay. Go watch the cutscene again. The unskippable, unpausable. So loud. This is so stupid. This is almost the perfect cherry on the shit cake, right? That this is what they're having me do after all of that stupidity. Am I even allowed to restore health? No. We were pretty mean to Resident Evil 6. Yeah, and it's like an embarrassing cutscene too. I'm kind of in awe at this gameplay sequence, if you can call it that. Stop the slow-mo. that was actually secretly a find the pixel thing the whole time? We just met. Ugh. There's a way to do this that was quite a bit less dumb.
Stop! Don't move!
Melissa!
Are you okay? Hey, hang down over there too. I'm getting you out of here.
Dead Space, Tomb Raider 2013.
Samus Aran, I heard what happened.
The original God of War
You
games.
performed admirably.
What? Why
You
is
can
this?
leave the rest to us.
What? Colonel Campbell.
Madeline!
Wait, Aran. Unfortunate what happened to Commander Malkovich.
We'll be sure to make a
And
robot
nothing
out of
but his
him.
entire unit was annihilated. Truly a tragic day. Would you agree, Aran? Sadly, with them gone, you're just an outsider. And given your unofficial status, I cannot allow you contact with the witness.
I don't care.
With your
I just met her.
predilection for transporting illegal cargo like
In the last
Metroid,
cutscene.
I must ask that you restrict your time for the lady to go home. Someone escort her.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Stop.
Time for us to go. Come on, princess.
Maybe they originally planned for him to be
Stop
in.
right there. Who are you?
He's fine. Remember, he fell in the lava, but we didn't actually see him die.
Anthony Higgs,
Oh,
sir.
shit.
Galactic Federation Platoon 7. I need to secure the safety of any survivors. Commander Malkovich's orders and the purpose of this mission.
Although actually it was sort of
Authorized by
obvious.
the chairman of the Galactic Federation. Of course.
What do you mean, the chairman?
But man, you guys made it here quick. I mean, if I hadn't stopped the engines...
Why is this all happening at the end of the game? Why is this the resolution to the game? Like, even Hideo Kojima, who makes games that are 30 hours long if you watch the cutscenes and 2 hours long if you play the game, knows better than to resolve all of the tension in a cutscene. Like, you at least fight the boss, right? You at least do a bunch of drugs and fight another man who did a bunch of drugs who thinks he's another dude on top of a submarine shaped like Mount Rushmore, right? There's at least gameplay at the end.
Whoa, didn't mean to wake her. Guess I ought to be quiet.
Even he has the restraints.
Courteous to Madeline. She was exhausted and had only just fallen asleep. She needed the rest. She had a lot of explaining to do once she got to Galactic Federation headquarters. For herself.
Oh, 5 is a broken mess. It's not even a finished game. It's embarrassing.
Still can't get my head around it. What a crazy mission.
Stop it!
Anthony sighed as he muttered to himself.
Why would you narrate that? We were on the ship, we could hear him.
What would have happened if we hadn't been called there? Might the furious MB have attacked the Galactic
Useful
Federation and
dialogue,
brought
right?
about its utter destruction? Melissa
Oh
wasn't
my
insane.
god.
One day, a consciousness simply bloomed within her, And those that caused it to bloom, the humans, called it insanity.
You have to pause every second to analyze all the problems with this game.
Madeline muttered softly as she sank into sleep.
I don't think the most analytical person on the planet.
The selfish conceits of humans drove MB to violence.
Like, I feel like
It was their
any
distorted
post-mortem isn't a half day. You're gonna have to play through this game like 50 times, watch all the cutscenes many times, and just process, what the fuck did I just see?
To punish the
Is this
foolish and
real?
conceited. But MB could not complete her mission. As Melissa, she was defeated. With their one vulnerability overcome, the Metroids were indestructible. If some fool just following orders had taken the savage creatures
So,
to those who sought
the first half of this game shocked and baffled me, even though I expected to be baffled.
Adam hadn't recognized the looming
The second half managed to top the first half in a completely different
was
way.
far too great.
Not even the second half, the last
Why did Adam
20
have
minutes
to
or
pay
so.
with his life?
Everything from when Adam shoots you in the back forward.
I couldn't believe he was dead. For the first time, I questioned his choice.
You even see him die on screen, dude. I bet Sakamoto was planning to bring him back until everyone hated this game.
No objections, right, lady?
There's gonna be
I heard
a
Adam's
stupid
voice in my
fucking
head.
JRPG style New Game Plus, which is the only way to get everything. That's my guess.
And I knew in my heart that he had made the right decision.
I said early on, like, oh, they're doing this setup with
Just as
the
he
power
had
bomb
so
thing. At
many
least that's
years
something
ago.
they're gonna do right? At
In
least
that
they'll
moment,
get some good dramatic
I swore not
value
to grieve
out
his
of
death.
focusing on that. Nope.
And for the first time,
It was obtuse and stupid.
I gave him a thumbs up. Just in case he was watching over me.
It doesn't work.
His amused expression looked as though he wanted to say something.
Who the fuck is this?
His face and Adam's swirled together.
Gotta get an incredulometer back up. I think I had it on the
That
3DS
last
screen.
smile as Adam drifted away.
Yeah, it's actually, it's almost offensive to Phoenix Wright that I did the incredulometer there. That was pretty straightforward compared to what we just experienced. There you go. Can it be like a Sephiroth health bar in Kingdom Hearts where it's like purple and like you have to deplete it and then there's another health bar behind it? Yeah. Okay, that's enough of all that. Just wrap around the entire screen multiple times. What the fuck was that? The final boss was a pixel hunt? No, I'm not turning anything off, don't worry. I mean, what if Samuel L. Jackson shows up and invites her to join the Avengers? Although it would be Adam that they invite to join the Avengers, because he's the cooler character. Depleted 4 times, and then there's another health bar behind it. It's just a prank. This being an elaborate prank. I said that before, like, this game would make sense if someone was setting out to, like, deliberately sabotage franchise, right? Like it's like Freddy Got Fingered, where there's all this debate over, is this movie actually the most terrible movie ever made, or is it like secret surrealist genius? And Tom Green was elaborately making fun of Hollywood for giving him money to make a movie, right? Like that's what it feels like. You're in this space where it's like, is this real? But like the problem is that everything about this broadcasts absolute sincerity, and that makes it much worse. That would be a long cutscene sequence for a JRPG, I know, right? No, I kind of like Freddy Got Fingered from the like, is this actually brilliant satire, right? Probably not. I don't think that Tom Green is that clever, but you can definitely read that into it, you know. This is the wrongest game we've ever played on stream, if that makes sense. There are things wrong with Resident Evil 6, and there's a lot wrong with Sonic 06. But like the whole experience front to end isn't just like wrong. People just didn't get it. Performatively awful, yeah. And I was not prepared. I opened this playthrough by saying that I've gotten 10 years of negative feedback for this, and that's making me unfairly prejudiced to it, and I promise I'm going to try really hard to appreciate it, because I expect that the gameplay at least is really good, and it's just that the story is somewhat problematic. Like, I wish I could have storyboarded and written out what I imagined Bad Other M was, compared to now knowing what it actually is. Like, I was imagining mildly problematic things here and there and being like, oh yeah, that's kind of frustrating. Because I'm so used to hyperbole when it comes to the gaming community. Like, we can never say, oh man, you know, this new patch that just came out in this MMO I played nerfed my class and I'm a little disappointed. We have to say, the devs are literally spitting on our faces, right? Like, but in this case... I feel like if you played this right on launch, I don't know, maybe it's possible to get swept up in it and just mildly annoyed or confused. Yeah, I don't know why the hell long to beat's even 11 hours in the first place. I'm guessing it's some really stupid JRPG. In order to 100% the game, you have to see the credits, and then after the credits, we're going to boot the game back up, and now you have the ability to fully explore and play a Metroidvania after you played it for 9 hours. Give you an Other M poster for buying it on launch. Yeah. No, I've been in situations where I've been like swept up in the newness of something. Like, how old was I when? What year did the Star Wars prequels come out? I remember being mildly confused because I was pretty young when Phantom Menace came out. 10 or 11, maybe. I think it was a thing that happened to me, right? But I wasn't really equipped to understand what was bad about it. 99. Okay, so then I was 12.
Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the bottle ship. A mission that will most likely be carried out in the next day or two.
Yeah, right. Well, I remember hearing press about this before it came out. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. They're doing this like Prime and original game.
Something that can't be replaced.
We are going to do a new game plus. Why would you fly a whale epically and then just go back? Oh, see, now it shows you the percentage completion. You can now use power bombs. Called it. Rescue the dignity of the Metroid series. I feel like even if Metroid had just been a kind of run-of-the-mill average series up to this point, this would still be really, really bad and frustrating. Like, I've only played 2 Devil May Cry games, but I kind of get an average feel from them. Like, these games are alright. I can see why people liked them when they came out. They haven't aged super well, but, you know, whatever. But if you put something out like this as your Devil May Cry 7 or whatever, I could see people being really fucking pissed. And it's made much worse by the fact that all the Metroid games prior to this one were basically perfect. Other than maybe the original NES game. And like now we kind of quibble, you know, you get your internet nerd hyperbole that's like, oh, actually Zero Mission is garbage because it interpreted the original Metroid as being slightly more linear, right? Like, I don't actually care. Why am I bothering? So, okay. What is... How long am I going to have to play until something new happens and I'm not just revisiting areas with all of my power-ups? Like, is there a new boss? Is the content significant after the credits? Or is it, like... you know, oh, now you can explore the place with all your upgrades and get a couple missile tanks and stuff. Because I currently don't buy that there's actually anything good to do. There's new content, okay. What kind of work goes into the new content? Are we talking like... run through all the different screens and collect all the dual baubles to open a door, or is it like go to a specific area of the ship? Okay. Do you know where exactly? I feel like this being after the credits is another thing that's bad. Right? Don't do the cutscene and then have there be significant post-credits content. What series is this? Suddenly almost like a Metroid game. I think them giving you free exploration of the facility is not a terrible idea. No Adam, no cutscenes, go around and do stuff, but I don't like that it happens after the credits. Really? Those doors are actually an enemy? Why though? Sure, but like Nier Automata is a game that establishes from the very beginning what it is, right? Like, Metroid is not the franchise to do stuff like this in. Yeah. This isn't screwing with the player, this is just gating significant content behind the natural endpoint of the story. In a way that isn't consistent with the rest of the series. Like, Nier is artsy-fartsy, and this is the furthest thing from. Like, this is so uniquely bad that I can't even really think of another game that has done something similar. I guess I'll have to see what the content is that we're working our way to right now. I have no idea what we're actually going to be unlocking here. You don't have the purple suit because Sakamoto thought it looked stupid. Sorry, the mini-map is like useless in this game. No, I think there's more shit I had to do in there first. Hold on. Objective marker is sending me back. Oh, I have no idea. Is it out now? This guy. I like how this is a more engaging fight than the actual final encounter of the game. I'm not yet clear if this is actually part of the game or not, or if this is like weird side story type stuff. Oh, don't do that. They were able to do that during the final boss fight. Metroid, a looter shooter. Need a new repeating mini boss. These are so strange, these fights. Can't just use the power bomb. Open doors. They spawn a mini boss now. Like this is the wrong way. The pixel hunt was really bad. Like, the reason it was bad is that the implication was that MB was the real antagonist the whole time, and you never engage with the antagonist except through a minigame, right? Like, I think that was extremely bad. There's such a thing as a victory lap boss, like the Yu Yevon fight in Final Fantasy X. versus Braska's final Aeon, which is the actual final boss, but it does not feel like that. It's like we just established what this thing is. It honestly, it would have been better if it had all just been cutscene than if it lets you do the pixel on thing. That made it worse. Especially since you're in first person and like shooting these monsters flying around and it's not clear that this is actually a pixel hunt segment. I didn't even know that she was in the room, to be honest. Well, I've hit my first branching path ever in this game. I'm guessing these are just opening shortcuts and they don't actually matter. It felt bad sandwiched in 15 minutes of cutscenes. And it was the specific way that MB was set up in the exact prior cutscene. Right. Like, I don't mind if it was established that some other character was supposed to be the one dealing with MB while you dealt with the Queen Metroid. Like, if those things were happening simultaneously, it would be less bad, right? I'd have to think about why I think it's worse than Yu Yevon. Because Yu Yevon is comparable. I guess it's like if you had a video game that had a number of core gameplay loops, and one of them was fun, two of them were kind of meh, and then there's another one that was like actually pants on head stupid. You wouldn't want... It would be like if after beating the final boss of Mass Effect 2, there was another real final boss and you had to beat it by planet scanning, right? I think that's part of why it's so frustrating. I just have to go left or something? Another exit from this room. So I thought there was another exit at the top of this room. Try and spark the pipe at the end of the tunnel. Maybe. Is there a door down here maybe? Is there just like an extra level that didn't do anything before? I thought that was backtracking though. Now, what's the point of Samus even being here? Is this like a Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of story where like everything would have happened in exactly the same fashion if Samus hadn't been here? Which is why there's that on-the-nose dialogue during the credits that's like, what if I hadn't have been there? Everything would have been different. Like, would it have been though? This might be progress. I have no idea at this point. It's another reviled minigame. Lightning dodging. There you go. I got a Mario Party ending there. Yeah, instead of you, Yevon, being this kind of flavorful fight where you're like having to summon the Aeons and deal with them, you just have to dodge lightning 30 times in a row. It was a blitzball match. I feel like there's a way to scan the final boss to beat it that's neat, but still. Well, Final Fantasy X is the perfect example of how not to do a tutorial. I agree with that. I think another problem with this is like this specific thing of having you come back after the ending is that you're running through a bunch of empty rooms, no real changes to the context of the facility. Like, I guess they had to make you do this instead of just teleporting you to the relevant room, because then it would make it even more questionable. Yeah. If they're going to teleport you to the relevant room, why would they even bother playing the credits in the first place? Right. Yeah, you haven't made your way around this place freely, so you don't know where things are in relationship to each other. You're just following the next objective marker. Running through this giant empty facility is not interesting, and having already played the credits robs me of any desire to go and 100% it, right? They didn't know how to separate the 100% cleanup and post-game story in a reasonable way. It also kind of feels bad that you can only get 100% after beating the game. Like, oof.
This elevator is bound for...
I'd almost just prefer that they had a bunch of things that said you need the power bomb for this, and then you're just never actually able to access them, right? Like, get more oomph out of that whole you can't use power bombs story beat that they didn't really work on, I didn't feel like. I was imagining in my head a much cooler way to resolve that. Maybe even involving Adam, right? Either you disobeying him, or him using the power bomb, or like literally anything more interesting than what you ended up having to do, which was go in the menu for no reason. I'm back at the start of the game, aren't I? No, I agree. I think if it was like, hey, we're gonna let you load back on you, the game kind of ended abruptly. You know, maybe it ended before you had the chance to 100% it. Here, we'll let you go and do a free explore to get the stuff that you missed. Totally fine with that, but this is a different animal entirely, since it's like, you weren't even able to finish it until this post-game started, right? It wants me to go south from this room, right? Use this elevator. Yeah. Here is a thing the game does. Imagine all the possible cool ways that thing could be used. The game does none of those. Exactly. Does this show a door to the south? I might need to ask for some help on progress here. I'm not clear whether I'm supposed to like actually follow the objective marker or... It's not in the elevator, right? Am I supposed to take the Sector 2 elevator? Well, it even gets a little song. Like, they're proud of this guy. This doesn't look like progress. Yeah, I'm at about 0.6% frame drops. Is that what those things are supposed to be? So most of the power bomb doors... Oh, this might be progress. I'm gonna get you a proper long hallway. Most of the power bomb doors so far have just been shortcuts for getting around the facility faster. Load-bearing enemies? No? Oh, these guys again. Really? How not contrived. Those ones just die instantly. The ones with the crazy armor that you would think you would actually have to fight traditionally. Did they just like flip a coin as to whether an enemy would get one shot by screw attack or not? No, this is just an excuse to spawn the enemies in instead of them existing in this space. For good reasons. I love how the first room had all enemies that you couldn't screw attack one hit kill. The next two sections are all cheesable. There's not even a threat escalation. the fuck is this? Like, it's like the shittiest version of a boss rush. I guess I've never really thought about it, but Metroid doesn't really just, like, arbitrarily spawn enemies in. And doesn't really, right? It's like they're there because they're part of the environment. There might be things that spawn enemies. There might be, like, a warp pipe that makes the little bugs that you fight to get extra resources, but very rarely has the load-bearing enemy doors where you have to kill all the enemies to progress, like Devil May Cry. I was about to do the red attack that actually is able to be missiled. I love that in lieu of you having to aim and potentially missing your aim, most enemies avoid missiles by just having an insta dodge, right? Oh, maybe. Do I have infinite power bombs? I assumed it was just like a key and a lock in this game. Yeah, that made it easier. Thanks. Just overpowered with my own dodge. Wouldn't even knock out the windows, I know, right? That's what I was saying, like, I thought they were really setting up power bombs to be like the... That was gonna be the big reveal. The big action that Samus takes at the end of the story. What? What? Oh, there's little wall masters. Okay. That's kind of cool. Phantoon optional super boss, basically. It's like Mama Phantoon, though, right? Yeah, the set piece is pretty cool. This has more of the, like, spectacle I usually associate with Bayonetta. It would be cool if more of the, like, actual game bosses were like this, if it would earn the genre change a bit more. Phantom Balloon. I can't see its health bar until I hit it with a missile once or something? Okay. It's so strange. And then you see it for the rest of the fight after that. Switching the missiles are just way too dangerous. You can't dodge anymore. Mechanically, this is a neat boss fight. This one's like the Ridley fight was the other cool boss fight in the game. I think every other boss fight was kind of lame. It's unfortunate it just kind of happens, but... Like, okay, let me take that back. I would like more things in this to just kind of happen. The problem here is that this is like a weird optional super boss. So it's like, why is Phantoon here? And why is it like 100 times bigger than it was in Super Metroid? If the game was all like this and the story wasn't degenerate, this would have been okay. There's the boss there's like baby Ridley, or adolescent Ridley. The one that's constantly in first-person view where you have to keep shooting its tail. There's the TV alien. Other M is too good for this fights. That's like, I wish that was in the base game instead of one of the other sucky boss fights. And yeah, I also wish that you would have just ran into it and been like, oh, that's cool, there's this big monster thing. Okay, so sorry, my thoughts on this are evolving. You're hearing my stream of consciousness. I need to process a lot of what's going on here. Like, I was under the impression that that was the point of the post game, that you were just going to go fight Phantoon. Which didn't make sense, because I'm like, wait, I thought she said that she needed to go find something or whatever. It's a thing that happens on your way to progress? Okay. Some kind of secret back there. Oh crap, we didn't have a power bomb in class 2. Oh, this thing again. I remember this was one of my very first disappointments in the game, was this room. Where I wanted to go up in this little tube to get a secret. They implemented the Phantoon fight, couldn't figure out how to set it up with 7 anime cutscenes, so they put it in the post-game. Yeah. I like him just being there. Like I said, I wish that you would have just found the Ridley shell, right, without any commentary by Samus.
Madeline, thanks for telling me all this. I've got to destroy the Metroids and MB in Sector 0. You have to remain hidden.
No! Samus!
Don't worry. The Galactic Federation CO who's here now.
Sometimes they... Yeah, because, right, in order for it to be shaky cam, they had to do that on purpose, right? It's not like they were actually holding a camera. Oh my god. Why is this in the post-game? That was a comedy cut! That was the fucking greatest thing ever! Alright, it's confirmed. This game is an elaborate prank.
5 minutes until detonation. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
I can't believe that was real. The whole game was worth it for that fucking comedy jump cut. What do you even want me to do here, game? She's carrying the helmet. That's why she has to be in the Zero suit. Game, what do you want from me? Oh, now I can jump down here, okay. It's because of that whole thing that prevents you from walking off glitches. Oh, I need to go watch that again. I need to watch this VOD immediately. Like, I was like, did I press a button? That was how they intended that scene to play out, with the sweeping, moving music, and then... I think that they... Do you think they intended it to be like, oh, she's trying to have this moving moment, but now she has to leave because, you know, the alarm doesn't wait for anybody? And it just played like a... like it was a YouTube jump cut? So low there. Yeah. The helmet was a dead man's switch on the self-destruct button or something. Oh fuck, didn't want to fall down here, that's bad. No! God, her jump sucks when she's Zero Suit Samus. There it goes, jeez. I love how they put Space Pirates down there specifically on the expectation that you were going to fall because of how sucky that jump was. Yeah, I hope so. Like I should run out of time on purpose just to see that again. That was the fucking shit. That was the... Okay, so I'm comparing this to Freddy Got Fingered, and I deeply apologize to anyone that hasn't seen that, and I also deeply apologize to anyone who has seen it. There's a scene in Freddy Got Fingered where Tom Green's girlfriend is like, I don't want any of that. I just want to suck your cock. Right? And it's the most awful line, but it's either awful or it's genius. It's either Tom Green saying this is what women characters in movies are like. They basically just exist to suck the protagonist's cock. So it's either completely genius or it's completely stupid. And I'm pretty sure that the jump cut was completely stupid, but it was still hilarious, right? Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Sorry to keep you waiting, Adam. Glad she recovered his helmet. What? Why was that the reason she went back on there for so long? And why was there a Phantoon fight on the way? They're like, oh shit, we can't just put you on the ship to go get the helmet back. We gotta give you something to do that's new. It's too coherent to be Dadaist. It's too shit to be anything else. Your rate for collecting items is garbage.
Well done.
That Phantoon fight was better than any other boss fight in the entire game. It was even better than the Ridley fight. See the story of this game from Phantoon's PC. Wow. It did everything wrong. It was wrong itself. The theater menu? What do you see? The fact that there's even a theater mode in a Metroid game is kind of... like, what? Is this it? Alright, we're gonna watch it one more time. I'm gonna set the controller down to make sure I didn't, like, accidentally press a button. Oh right, this is a cutscene. Yeah, they don't even show you your time, something that was in the original Metroid. We'll end on this. This will be perfect. And we'll play Fusion next week, and it'll be nice to leave with a good taste in our mouths from Metroid. So what is the deal with her power suit? Is it that she has to will it into existence? The title music's not so bad. It's fine. There's a couple of places where music is used well in this, like this scene.
Madeline, thanks for telling me all this. I've got to destroy the Metroids and MB in Sector 0. You have to remain hidden.
No! Samus!
Don't worry. The Galactic Federation CO who's here now will help you.
Self-destruction protocol activated. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
I'm dying! I feel the blood is rushing out of my brain.
Please evacuate the facility immediately.
Okay, thanks folks. Let you guys know what's coming up next.